We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Pitch. There's a line drive right at the shortstop for out number 3.
Apodaca ripped to left field. That will bounce in, so it's going to be extra bases as they'll have to chase that one at the wall in the warning track. Flipped up, there's no play at home. So it's an RBI double for Andrew Apodaca. Runner at third. High leverage spot. Can Chavez keep the tie? No, that's going to be cracked into left field. It's a base hit as Love puts the Sandia Matadors ahead for the first time today.
The 0-2. It's upstairs, goes to the backstop, and the run will not score. Gun down at home.
Chavez rocks and fires. Ahmed, that's going to be an RBI for Ahmed as that one right through the gap in right center. Petrie will scoop that one, and it's looking like a triple as Ahmed plugs into third base, and what a way to score that run for the Matadors.
Coach Romero barking out his orders there to his players. He's been around the game for a long time. Nice shot to center field. That'll bring runners in. Just like
Now.
It's 7 a.m.
It's 7 a.m. Time for the opening drive.
Voted the best sports show in New Mexico
For 5 years running. It's the OD and the AM with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Check the calendar. I mean, even bought a newspaper just to check the date and the day on the top of it. You know, like how I used to know what day it was. It wasn't Friday. It wasn't the 1st or the 15th. It wasn't but it was payday. I mean, yesterday was payday, and dudes got paid. What is up? And good Wednesday. Maybe it's payday to you. I hope it is. It is the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. How you living?
What it do?
Do you see? You all right back there?
Oh, I'm doing great.
All right. Well, I'm glad the key card worked. Thanks for letting me get out of here for a couple of days. Lots going on around here. How's things here?
Things are good.
What'd I miss?
Didn't burn anything down. We're all right.
What'd I miss? Anything big?
No.
All right. I see United's getting their stadium after all, like I told you they would. No surprise. I see dudes got paid. I mean, and they just kept coming in and kept getting bigger. As the day went on, it was getting bigger. Let me give you something. So I don't understand the Saquon Barkley thing, and good for him, but isn't the whole point of that deadline that here's a deal you can negotiate, or you can sign the franchise tag and that's it? You got one or two options, and then there's the deadline. Then they found more money, and they found a way to add $2 million to his signing bonus and up it to $11 million. I don't even understand. Good for him, I guess. But do you guys understand how that all went down? Nobody asked that question yesterday. Everybody was like, well, Saquon agreed to this, and he gave in. I didn't even think there were options anymore. Isn't that what that whole deadline was about on the 17th?
No, I think the 17th deadline was just
the long-term deal?
The franchise tag. Like, after the 17th, they can either take that away or not offer it again, because I don't think that means you cannot sign any type of contract after that.
Well, I thought it was that you can negotiate a long-term deal after. Isn't that what we were talking about that day?
It is, and it's very confusing because you're absolutely right. How did that deal increase in number if you're not allowed to negotiate? But
it's not a long-term deal.
Right. I think it's the fact that it's a one-year deal.
Okay, so you can up the one-year deal. All right, whatever. Good for him. He got $2 million guaranteed. It could be worth up to $11 million instead of he got a $2 million signing bonus up to $11 million over 10.1. All right, good for him. So his deal gets done. Then Justin Herbert, went out and 5-year extension at $262.5 million, resetting that market. I think we all knew he was getting paid. I saw something on the plane yesterday where Joe Burrow was being interviewed, and he was asked about his deal, and he just said, dude, you're not getting that scoop right now. Like what are you talking about, right? But that is $52.5 million a year. Surprised at the numbers? They're never going to stop, right?
Not when we're talking about Justin Herbert and Trevor Lawrence, guys that – are you going to say they're better than Patrick Mahomes or Joe Burrow? No, but those are the guys that are going to allow you to compete with those quarterbacks in the NFL for the coming years.
All right. Somewhere right about that, I think it was earlier in the day, the Cowboys get a defensive back, Trayvon Diggs, done. 5 years, $97 million, which is pretty nice gelt for him. Just about $20 million a year for a really good defensive back. Zach Martin, their guard, is still holding out. He wants his. So Trayvon Diggs got paid. So I'm watching her. Was yesterday just payday? Like welcome to camp, and we're handing out just chips and bags and sacks and stacks and take it.
Let's not forget the $1 billion Mbappe got too.
Well, I'm working my way up.
Oh.
I'm working my way up.
Let's start. With
I got to start at Jalen. I got to get to Jalen Brown before I get to Mbappe, right?
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
All right. Okay. So then let's go to the NBA. When we have conversations, when you have conversations with your boys, when y'all sit around and have this inevitable conversation about who is the best player in the NBA, who are the best players in the NBA, how often does Jaylen Brown pop into your conversation? Just curious.
He doesn't.
Ever.
No. That is the last thing I think of when I'm thinking of the best players.
I don't know if it's the last thing, but it's certainly not near the top 10, right? He's not the best player in his team, is he?
No.
Jaylen Brown has the richest contract in the history of the NBA. And some of you are going, who is Jaylen Brown? Like, I know there's some of you out there going, who is Jaylen Brown? Jaylen Brown is a really, really, really good player. He's the number 2 on the – he doesn't wear number 2. He's the second best player to Jason Tatum on the Boston Celtics. And because of the way the contracts are slotting and he was due for his Supermax, and because he made All-NBA last year, he was eligible for Supermax. 5 years, $304 million. Or like $60+ million a year average. And again, God bless this young man for making his gelt, right? But where are we going with those right now? And again, it's not my money. It's not my money.
This is one where this was Jaylen Brown doesn't need to be the highest paid player.
Yeah.
But this is the classic example if he was just next. He's an All-NBA player that with Jason Tatum, that team can compete for the NBA Finals.
And they didn't last year. They got knocked out in the first round by an 8 seed. So they went out and brought in Porzingis. It was funny, and JJ, when DC and I have the conversation, it's so different than when you and I have the conversation. I reference you, right? Because DC and I had the conversation on Money last week, and it was like, when's it going to, it was kind of what I bring up a lot. Where's the breaking point? And I told him, right? I told you, JJ's like, it doesn't matter. There isn't ever going to be a breaking point. And the perspectives are totally different. And I'm not telling you one's right or one's wrong. Yours is right, JJ, because the money keeps being there, and they keep up in the TV deals. They keep up in ticket prices, beer prices, and T-shirt prices, and jersey prices. And so as long as you go, it's going to be there. But you and I both think, DC, there's a breaking point. I know I do. I don't know where it is, though. I mean, again, $60 million a year for the second best player on a team makes me just go, holy smokes. Right? I mean, we're not far away from $100 million a year dude, right?
No, and they lost in the Eastern Conference Finals.
The Miami Heat. Yeah, not in the first round. Yes, you're right. They lost in the Eastern Conference.
There's only 15 dudes on our roster.
Yeah.
And the money's going to go somewhere.
And that's why they're getting paid more than the NFL guys.
And a little bit of this, too, is it's not your bank account.
No.
Now, yes, we can have the conversation of how it increases prices for a fan that wants to attend these games.
I don't think that's arguable.
But also, your team's trying to win.
Yep.
Who cares about how much annual salary Jaylen Brown has as long as Jason Tatum and Kristaps Porzingis are in town? And who cares about a 2028 first-round pick? Like your team's trying to win. It shouldn't bother you as a fan.
I don't know if it astonishes me. Is that all right that it astonishes me? The amount, I don't know that it bothers me. Get all you can get. I think there's a difference between being bothered and just being astonished or stunned or amazed. And that's all. That's all. I mean, I know we've probably far reached the point where it's just monopoly money and it's whatever, right? But it does. It does amaze me. It does make me go, holy, $60 million a year for a dude who's pretty good. He's really good. I'm not going to tell you pretty. He's pretty good. But when you have the conversation top 10, top 15, he's not near it. He's not near it.
Well, he is.
I won't bring it up again, man.
Well,
I'm not going to. No,
I'm saying he is.
No, I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Was he second team All NBA?
He was. Yeah,
that's top 15 player in the NBA.
That's why he got that number.
Yeah. And so it's one that
now
this is the classic. Just because he's the best player, highest paid player, does not mean he's the best player in the league.
100%.
Yeah.
There were a bunch of dudes like on the All NBA team that weren't on because of whatever reasons. Like, for instance, John Morant wasn't All NBA, right? I mean, I don't know. Here, third team dudes. I'll give you dudes that are a third team, and you tell me, is he better? He was second team? Yeah. I mean, John Morant went on it. Dude, Damian Lillard was third. LeBron James was third. De'Aaron Fox was third. So, I mean, look. Again, I'm not mad at I have no problem. Get all you can get, dude. Get it. It just amazes me. It just, what's next? And go get it. All right, what do you want to do today? You got a lot to do, huh? We got a lot. I mean, I don't want to recap what
championship bank accounts.
Yeah,
is the theme of the day.
Well, am I wrong? I mean, yesterday was just payday. Mark it down. The 20 whatever of July, 25th of July of 2023 was just payday. until the next.
By the way, let's just get these contracts done. Why not?
Jiminy Christmas. That was all the news yesterday. It was just like, dude got paid. Messi scored. Messi got paid. We didn't get to Mbappe. So they want $1.1 billion overall, right, between 700 something million in salary for 1 year, and then the 3+ 300 million transfer fee, right? Is that what the Saudis want to do for Mbappe? And he's saying, no, I'm not going to go over there and do it.
That is correct.
What's the number?
There's not a number.
You don't think he'll go over and do it?
As if they're legitimately offering that dude almost $800 million.
Isn't that insane?
And he doesn't want to do it.
Are you amazed by that number? Does that number get you?
Yes.
All right. I found the
that
number
was
that gets
insane.
JJ. All right. That's good.
That one is hard to believe.
Well,
we know it's Saudi money, but that is hard to believe that for 1 year they want to give that guy $800 million.
Hey, I'm just going to ask you this, and we can have this conversation when we come back. What's going to happen when the Saudis come to the NBA or the NFL or somebody and say, I want to buy an expansion team? And how much is your expansion franchise? Okay, here's 6 times that number. And we want to buy an expansion team. And we're going to just pay these guys ridiculous money. We're going to be good with that, right?
Pens?
I mean, look, any expansion's got to pass ownership's vote, right? But those guys are all going to get a piece of that franchise fee, every one of them. So let's just say a franchise fee is, I have no idea what it is right now. Let's just say $500 million. It's got to be bigger than that because like getting into MLS is $200 million plus $300 million. But let's just use round numbers. Let's say it's $500 million. And they came in and say, fine, we'll give you $3 billion, and we want to put a basketball team in Seattle, and we want to own it.
And it's going to change the game because they'll pay all the luxury tax.
What's the answer then? Right? And you're 100% right. They're going to pay all the luxury tax. And dudes are just going to go up there. Or wherever it happens to be. I mean, that's next, isn't it?
It says, according to ESPN, it's $2.5 billion fee for the NBA.
That's the franchise fee.
Currently.
All right. So they come in and they say, we'll give you $7.5 billion.
It's hard to say no to that.
I mean, start adding the zeros up there. It's bonkers. All right, camps are open. We got a lot of camp stories too. There's a couple injuries. We got so much to do. Let me give you phone numbers to get in. 505-246-0610. It's area code 505-246-0610. Emails Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com, JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. If you want to get on the Sports Animal, give us a call. We've been, what are we doing on Friday? We're still going out to Sandia on Friday for 15? Is that still part of the deal? Have we not been talking about that? Oh, yeah. All right. Then
we have a big day of celebration. We're unsure of where we're going to be doing the show.
We're still
Friday.
unsure of that.
Yes.
Oh. All right. Well, we got a big day of celebration on Friday. All right. When we come back, I got NFL stuff popping all over the place. I want to get into what the Herbert contract means for the guys who are up next. And he's a quarterback. He's a starting quarterback. He's been injured, but he's cleared and ready to go. What that means for that team and that conference. Next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM at AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from U.S. Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At U.S. Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Be a few quarterback battles going into camp. These camps are open now pretty much everywhere. In the NFL, it's the opening drive. Good morning to you, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, and DC. Who doesn't know their starting quarterback? It's pretty much Indianapolis probably doesn't, but they probably do. Does that make sense? Right? I think everybody else is pretty secure with who their starting quarterback is going to be. Except for San Francisco, where Brock Purdy, if you recall at the end of the year, couldn't throw a ball. He was their quarterback. Trey Lance is still out. But Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant from a year ago, isn't all the way back from right shoulder surgery yet, but evidently he's well on his way. He reported to camp, and he has been cleared to practice when the team begins their on-field work today. I think that's fairly significant for what they're trying to do, don't you? It's Sam Darnold, it's him, it's Trey Lance, and all everybody tells me is they've got the best roster in football, and it's all about the quarterback.
It's very significant. If that's the guy that they trust, that's the guy that they believe in, that's the guy that they watched win NFL games for them last year.
Does that put them at the top of the NFC?
I still like Philadelphia.
All right. So are they number 2 in the NFC?
Yes.
All right. We've had this conversation about who's number 3, right? And whether it's the Cowboys or I like Seattle a lot. Who's the third best team in the NFC?
Right now, I think it's the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay. I like Seattle. I just don't trust the Cowboys. Is there a reason to?
No, there's not a reason to trust anyone for number 3 right now.
Fair enough. All right, but I might trust one team more than another. All right, so here's the deal on what's going on there. He'll be out there with the starters. Is this Brock Purdy now? He'll be with the starters. They're not going to have him throw as much. It'll be a different abbreviated throwing plan. They're going to have him go 3 days in a row, and that's according to Kyle Shanahan, their head coach. So he's back. They still do not have Nick Bosa in. They're working on extended. So payday's coming up for him.
Oh yeah.
We're not done on paydays, by the way. We're just tossing around cash. But his deal's coming up. All right, so that's a big deal. Brock Purdy coming back. As I look around camps and there was an injury. Kadarius Toney in Kansas City. You get little injuries each day. He may be back by opening day. Who is, when I look at Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes' best, most reliable receiver outside of Travis Kelce? So who's his best wideout? And I'll give you the list.
Valdes-Scantling.
You think so? He's your guy because he's the sturdy, steady veteran.
They believe Kadarius Toney could be
the Tyreek Hill role,
unstoppable force in that offense.
Yeah,
got to be able to get on the field.
It's going to be one of the young guys that emerge. I really believe, whether it's Rashee Rice or Sky Moore. Do you believe more in Sky Moore, second-year guy? And look, receivers tend to make a gigantic leap in the second year. He's a second-round pick last year out of Western Michigan. Or do you believe in Rashee Rice, who most of the year last year led the nation in receiving at SMU? Or I mean, look, Richie James is there. Richie James came on. I mean, he got Daniel Jones paid last year in New York. Mm-hmm. He was big for Daniel Jones with the Giants. They went out and found little pieces. And then all of a sudden, when you've got Patrick Mahomes sticking it in your face mask, you become a hell of a better receiver, too.
And that's also, especially last year's Chiefs offense, it's a reminder that Patrick Mahomes right now is making wide receivers so much better than anyone else in the league.
100%.
And this offense, you're looking at, everyone likes how fast Kadarius Toney is. There's a reason that even the New York Giants were like, yeah, this young receiver, we just don't want to do this anymore.
Well, they couldn't get him on the field. They just couldn't get him there.
When you have the money going to certain places, like, Chris Jones, their defensive tackle, wants to get paid. He's holding out from training camp right now. You got the investment in Kelce, what they had to do in the offensive line. And Patrick Mahomes has his work cut out for him with these guys, but that's why I look at a Richie James or Valdes-Scantling to have that trust with those veteran players. And then, Sky Moore, all the trouble with him last year was building punts. Now that he should have a better opportunity to be in that wide receiver rotation, which one of those young guys can catch Mahomes' eye? Because I'm leaning towards the veterans right now.
Okay, so you like? I like one of the young guys. I feel almost certain he's going to just wean one of these young guys, whether it's Sky Moore, Rashee Rice. Love me some Rashee Rice, by the way. I think he's terrific. But it feels like one of those guys is certainly going to will their way into that. But we'll watch that because I think it's interesting. 505-246-0610 if you want to get into the Sports Animal. That's the Sports Animal hotline, the text line as well. And it's Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com, JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. And I was just watching Darius. Oh, that's what I was thinking. So last year when Tyreek Hill left, Tyreek Hill had a really nice year with Miami, right?
Yes, he did.
But we had, DC, you weren't here, but JT and I had the conversation, who made who? Did Tyreek Hill help make Mahomes better? Did Mahomes make Tyreek Hill? And I thought it was Tyreek Hill benefited way more by having Patrick Mahomes than the other way around. And I think it was proven, although it also was proven they're both really good on their own, right?
Yeah.
But to your point, Patrick Mahomes makes dudes better. He just does. And I think, that's why guys want to go play there. Before we hit the break, well, you know what? Let's do this when we get back. DeAndre Hopkins spoke yesterday, and he talked about why he went to Tennessee and why he's going to play there, because I think a lot of you were really, really surprised when he went there. So what that means, one of the best receivers in the NFL goes to Tennessee. Where are we on, what do you want to do with Mount West stuff? You got something today?
Absolutely.
Want to do it in the 8 o'clock hour? What do you think?
Do that.
Where you been running them? I want to spread them around, right?
Yeah, we've been moving them around.
All right, let's do it. You want to do something at 8:30 today? And I'll tell you who it's going to be when we get back on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
Brought to you by the Albuquerque Journal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com
Part of our offense
today.
that had a great run game. I know that helps my job, and I know it's going to help his job having someone like me out there. I think obviously played with Arian Foster. I played with some great running backs, but Derrick Henry is definitely by far one of the best running backs that I would be able to have a chance to play with. And I think that not just help us, but the team as well. So, you know, Derrick Henry being here played a very big part with me coming here.
That's DeAndre Hopkins. Why he went to the Tennessee Titans. Said he wanted to be somewhere where he knew people had his best interest, not just on the field, but off the field. He knew Mike Vrabel. I think, I don't know, were you surprised? Everybody loves to rip on Ryan Tannehill. And Ryan Tannehill's numbers are above average, although he's considered to be below average by many because, well, he's Ryan Tannehill and he's not flashy, and he's one. So, again, we're so hypocritical. We do NFL. We just are. We are just so hypocritical because quarterbacks are the only ones that get wins and losses. But yet, when quarterbacks we like don't win at the level, well, it's not their fault, right? Justin Herbert, right? Well, everybody likes Justin Herbert. Well, it's not him. It's the coach. It's everything around him. They what have they won? Ryan Tannehill, who you don't like as much because, well, he's just Ryan Tannehill, who's been to AFC Championship games. Well, yeah, but it's Derrick Henry. It's the running back. So we're so beyond hypocritical with that. Ryan Tannehill's not great. Ryan Tannehill's a pretty good quarterback. I mean, like, would you tell me Kirk Cousins is better than Ryan Tannehill? Almost everybody would, right?
I think it gets to a point where we overanalyze that position so much we forget that winning football is a positive. Because we just assume that if you're not in the Super Bowl, you're no good.
Or, yes.
Like, yeah, there's a level of quarterback play in this league that everyone is chasing. And that's Patrick Mahomes, that is Joe Burrow. But then we've seen what Jalen Hurts can do. We just saw Matthew Stafford win Super Bowl in the last few seasons. There's no doubt overanalyzed where we take for granted winning seasons just because a player might not have won a Super Bowl.
Yeah. I look at it. Kirk Cousins' stats are a little bit better than Ryan Tannehill's.
It's also what they're asking each guy to do. It's a much more downfield attacking offense in Minnesota with Kevin O'Connell versus you have Derrick Henry in the backfield and Mike Vrabel kind of run the football, play defense, and work that play action game.
Were you surprised when he ended up in Tennessee?
I was a little bit, but you take a step back, and it's probably the best contract offer he got. He's no doubt the number one option, and so he's going to be the safety blanket for Ryan Tannehill, so he's going to get paid and get his targets.
Oh, that's right. And he's 31 years old, and I think at this point, look, I think he wants to win. I don't know how much money he's made. I'm sure he's made nice money, but your window's closing, right? Your window's closing both to get paid and to get championships. And so what's more important? And I'm not going to tell you one should be more important than the other. I'm really not. But I think he's in a decent position. And in a division where everybody thinks it's
it is Jacksonville.
Yes.
Like with Trevor Lawrence at quarterback, the weapons, Doug Peterson, that team should be favored.
But that's
over
not a
Tennessee.
gimme. But that's not a slam dunk.
if the Titans can just get back to that really it is their brand of football.
Mm-hmm.
Defensively, they were bad last year.
Yes, they were.
Offensively, they were bad also because they didn't have any weapons. We were talking about it yesterday that they were 30th in the NFL in wide receiver yardage. So
That's
they were
a problem.
desperate.
Yeah, that's a problem
for someone.
And that's why they went out and got this guy. Edward, you're on the Sports Animal. Good morning, Edward.
Well, good morning, gentlemen. A rumor has it that there's a Festivus this Friday morning.
Yeah, maybe.
Is that accurate?
Yeah, maybe. I've been told maybe. I might have jumped the gun on absolutely. So I guess maybe.
Okay, possibly, maybe. I can bring a quarter-eaten cake if need be.
I know you can.
You guys let me know. 'Cause I'm ready.
I know that from experience. Yes.
Consistency. That's what I ask of people.
Appreciate that.
Hey, when the Jaguars drafted Trevor Lawrence 3 years ago, I told my friends within 3 years he'll play in the AFC title game. And if it wasn't for Urban Meyer being a complete moron, his rookie year, last year was essentially, you can consider his rookie year. The strides that team made, they should have played in the AFC title game last year if the receiver would have caught the ball against the Chiefs. But their schedule, their division, it's favorable this year. I'm guessing at least 11 wins for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hey, with my mastery of human nature and psychology, I find it hilarious and ironic that the running back group, once they found out they lost leverage in the NFL, they went through the whole series of grief, the grief cycle. Step 1 is shock.
Yeah.
Step 2 is anger. Step 3 is denial. Step 4 is bargaining. Step 5 is acceptance. And to Saquon Barkley's credit, he went through that entire cycle, which typically takes people several years.
Took him a week.
He went through it in probably a month and a half.
Yeah. It was quick.
Isn't that amazing?
Well, but he had no choice. He had no choice.
Shock, anger, denial, bargaining, acceptance.
Yeah, but
and,
the accelerated timetable.
Go ahead.
The accelerated timetable was predicated by the system. I mean, he had no choice.
You didn't have a choice, and that's part of acceptance. And so the quicker, rather than do Zoom calls and complain, and the sooner you get to the realization that you have no power and no leverage, then you can focus your energy on what you do have control over, maybe learn a new skill set. And I'm not even talking about the NFL. I'm talking about business. I'm talking about commerce.
Life.
Learn a new skill set, get a viable set of skills, and then you can situate yourself for further success.
Yeah.
Hey, if you do have an event on Friday, there might be a Crusher appearance.
Right on. Well, we'll let you
Have a
know.
great day.
Thanks, man. We might have an event on Friday. Goodness gracious, I might be able to clear the line. We might. I will come back. Latest on Bronny James. LeBron's son is in the hospital. This is real and scary and horrific, and but it could have been worse. So we'll get you the latest on that. 8:30 this morning. Chevin Cordero. He is the preseason Mountain West Offensive Player of the Year, the quarterback from San Jose State. Formerly the quarterback. He's a New Mexico Bowl winning quarterback, DC, when he was at Hawaii. It's pronounced, can you say it that way? Hawaii. When he was at Hawaii, and then he transferred from his home state to San Jose State. Really interesting cat. I think you'll enjoy the conversation with the preseason conference player of the year from San Jose State. So that's at 8:30 on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from U.S. Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At U.S. Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact.
4 till 7 on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Cumulus Family radio stations are broadcasting live today from Dreamstyle Remodeling down on Renaissance over by Sam's Club and Costco, and we're asking you to help out with those less fortunate. So if you could stop by and drop off some bottled water or some thawed popsicles that can be frozen, things like Otter Pops, or hygiene products, sunscreen, lip balm, toothpaste, toothbrushes, bandages, tissues, purse-sized female hygiene products, things like that, we would greatly appreciate it, but more so the people who are in need of those items would appreciate it. We're going to be by there. Brandon Vought's going to be broadcasting there in the afternoon. I think Eric Strauss is out there this morning. But go on by, please. You'll see the Cumulus Radio stuff out there. Eric Strauss is out there from 7 to 10. Brandon Vogt will be out there from 1 to 3, and then Fred and Van will be live doing their show from Dream Style from 4 to 6:15 today. We asked you to stop by and help those who are less fortunate. It's hot, it's miserable out there, and as bad as you got it, they got it way worse if they don't have a place to live. So we're asking you to help out with that if you can, and thank you in advance for taking part in what we're trying to do today and help people who are really, really in need. I'll let you know about that again, but it's down at Dreamstyle Remodeling down there on Renaissance, right off of Montgomery. You know where that stuff is. It's the opening drive, Jeff, JJ, and DC. So the text line, the Sports Animal text line, and you can get to the Sports Animal at 505-246-0610. I asked earlier in the show, we talked about the Mbappe money that they were throwing around 1 year for Mbappe at almost $800 million. It was going to cost them $1.1 billion between the transfer and his salary. And I said, so what's going to happen when, and I believe it's a when, not an if, they come to, whether it's the NFL or the NBA or whatever it is, and want to get in and start, if it's the NBA blowing up the luxury tax and just changing the market, right? I mean, that's what that would do. Now, I believe they're going to try to. I don't know for certain that the league, whatever the league is going to be, like baseball's talking about expanding, right?
Yes, they're flirting with it.
Whether they're going to Nashville, Mexico City, wherever they want to go, right? Puerto Rico, whatever. The NBA has talked about expanding. Seattle, Vegas, Nashville, right? I believe the Saudis are going to want to get in on that. Now, I don't know for sure that they will, but the text line says, why is it your opinion that the NBA would bow to and implement the demands of any group, especially the Saudis, which throws a lot of money to get their desired outcome? Aren't you aware of the potential sale of the Sacramento Kings, a transaction involving two groups, including a Seattle-based group dramatically increasing its bid to ensure it won the sale, to then move the team to Washington? Ultimately, the NBA stepped in, as they said, preserve regional presence in the fan base.
That has nothing to do with a potential new ownership group coming in with a new franchise.
I'm just watching the way things are going. That's why I believe it. I mean, I'm watching.
They stepped in because they didn't want to move the franchise. And if we're talking about expansion, that's a brand new franchise.
I think sports are obviously something that is on the front burner for Saudi PIF, the public fund, and international sports, and they're going to the highest level. What's the highest level in basketball? Right? That's why do I believe it's going to happen? Now, I don't know what the outcome is going to be. I believe they're going to make a run at it. I don't believe I ever said absolutely the league is going to do it, although I think everybody's got a price, don't they?
You have to have that in the back of your mind. Like, so, if this comes up, how do we feel about it? What will we do?
What's our number? Yeah. Yes. And they're coming in saying we're just trying to do what's best for sport, and yeah. All right, Bronny James still in the hospital this morning in stable condition, according to the latest reports that I've seen. The oldest son of LeBron James, cardiac arrest. Was it April? When did we do that big? It was this year, right?
Yes, it was.
The Cumulus radio stations were out at University Stadium, and we did that big CPR training event on a Saturday morning.
Exactly what I was thinking about, the Project Heart Start event that day.
And I remember going out there that morning and being amazed at the amount of people who went out. And DC, this is before you were here, but these Sports Animal, our radio station, and all our sister radio stations here in the cluster. And JJ, it was 3 full sessions, right? Like 8 at 9 and 10, and full packed sessions of people learning CPR. And it was for instances like this. And I'm learning more and more, because you think of somebody, much different demographic than an 18-year-old, incredibly in shape, stud athlete having cardiac arrest. If there's thank goodness to this, it happened where it happened, right? Instead of in a park somewhere at a pickup game, it happened on campus of USC where they had trainers and they saved his life. I heard somewhere like 13 or 16% or something crazy
Oh, I think
is the survival level when it happens
like
outside of a
12%.
hospital. Yeah.
The number they were talking about in the story I was watching on ESPN last night with the doctors, and the studies that they've been doing are pointing out that in college basketball players, the rates are higher. But you wouldn't think that at all. Just like, young, athletic, in shape, good to go.
And I don't know that there's any way to see it coming, right? And they'll do all the tests in the world now to figure out, did Bronny have a pre-existing condition? What happened? I mean, this is, if it happens to him, like every one of us has just got to go, whoa, right? What did I tell you, man? I told you working out's bad for you, didn't I? I'm kidding, kind of. Our best thoughts to Bronny and LeBron. Everybody says, what did you think? That's what I heard yesterday. What did you think? And I think we all thought the same thing, right? First of all, you think, bless this young man, right? 18 years old, everything in front of him, doing what he loves, seemingly doing everything right. He's in shape. Like, how can this happen? But I think every one of us who's a father who has a kid, right? You thought, oh my goodness, what would I do? How does, and I feel for LeBron and Savannah and all those people involved. I mean, my first thought is to Bronny and what he's going through and what he's dealing with, not only physically, but what he's got to be going through emotionally, right? His thoughts, weren't they going to Serbia or something on some trip? USC was working out. They're going on some international trip, and that's what they were working out for. But I just think that every one of us who's a parent, to get that call, it's like, what?
And USC last summer had a center that suffered the same incident. Got back in the court, played 14 games, but that is the fact that we're talking about being alive. That's what matters first and foremost in this incident. And then all of a sudden we're looking at a story like DeMar Hamlin is cleared and he's back on the practice field. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's right. I just thoughts to them. We'll update you. I don't know that there's going to be a lot of updates. Bronny is last report still in the hospital. LeBron and Savannah have asked for privacy, and I don't blame them. They've been very open with their family, but this is one of those where it's like, all right, I get it, and I get who we are, but let us take care of our child at this point. All right, when we come back, this is as big as it gets. It may not be your game. It may not even be your dude, but you're taking notice when one of the biggest international stars in the world comes to your country and starts dominating in the fashion in which he is. You better start paying attention to that dude wearing pink. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Mitch, there's a line drive right at the shortstop for out number 3.
Apodaca ripped to left field. That will bounce in, so it's going to be extra bases as they'll have to chase that one at the wall in the warning track. Flipped up, there's no play at home. So it's an RBI double for Andrew Apodaca. Runner at third. High leverage spot. Can Chavez keep the tie? No, that's going to be cracked into left field. It's a base hit as Love puts the Sandia Matadors ahead for the first time today.
The 0-2. Upstairs goes the backstop, and the run will not score. Gun down at home.
Chavez rocks and fires. Ahmed, that's going to be an RBI for Ahmed. Is that one right through the gap in right center? Petrie will scoop that one, and it's looking like a triple as Ahmed plugs into third base, and what a way to score that run for the Matadors.
Coach Romero barking out his orders there to his players. He's been around the game for a long time. Nice shot to center field. That'll bring runners in. Just like that, LaCueva will bring 3 runners in to go up 3-0. Runner advances to third. Shot to center. That looks good. That's gone. Man, outstanding center shot there. As LaCueva will score. Antonio Lucero, second baseman. Quite the hitter. Shot to third, and good catch. And she gets the out. Outstanding play by Trinity Bazan. Nice bright spot.
Costly errors allowed Cleveland to get 1 run back. That one sit on the ground to the left side. Throw to first in time. Throw home. Got her. Whoa, what a play.
Next door or something. Not sure, but they came out here, and Ellison cracks an RBI out to left field. That's where you got to do it. 1 run, 2 run, and this game could very well be over. It's a play at the plate. It's sliding, and that will do it. The Rams walk off the LaCueva Bears. It's a 3-run batted in shot by Dean Ellison.
Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bond.
Payday yesterday. I mean, not for you. You got to wait till Friday. Saquon Barkley, Trayvon Diggs, Justin Herbert, Jaylen Brown. I forget anybody? Mbappe? Oh, no, not yet Mbappe. He's already been getting paid. It was payday, and it's going to be payday. I mean, over and over and over. But we'll watch that. Good morning to you. Happy, help me, Wednesday? Dude,
I almost said Monday.
Look, traveling just jacks up my whole calendar. It's the opening drive, Jeff, Jay. So you and I have been together for like 2 shows over the last, 3 weeks, 4 weeks? It's kind of good. How was Vegas, by the way? How was the Mountain West Conference trip? Because we're going to listen to a conversation that you and I had with the conference preseason player of the year on the offensive side, Chevin Cordero, coming up at 8:30. He's the quarterback at San Jose State.
I really enjoy it. The question is, well, what are you doing? Why would anyone care about what's going on there? Because it's great stories in sport. And when you talk to these players, their background, where they come from, how they got to where they got, it is very fascinating. The level of play in this conference, it's good. And there's a reason they're talking about being the next league, because they absolutely can be that. I know it's number 6, but it's right there. In an expanded college football playoff world, if you got players still coming to your conference, you're developing players, it's going to matter. And hearing those stories, that's always big for me, is the asking the question where like coaches don't expect, or the players are like, what? Oh yeah, it's transferred from this, transferred from that.
Yep.
Like talking about guys that are starting families, it's stuff you don't think about.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of really good stories. You're going to be as you listen to them, especially not even just the players, the coaches. There's a lot of these guys we didn't talk any football with, and you're like, well, why do I care? Well, actually, they're really interesting stories about young men who are fathers, who transferred, who fought through adversity, who fought through whatever, who grew up here, transferred there. Really good life stories, like you guys behind the mask. And I you know what my favorite part, I'll tell you this, and then we're going to get into some of this other stuff. But when the guys in the DC, this happened more often than not. Guys, they're going down Radio Row. The way this works is there's a session. They all sit on the Mountain West Network. Then they all sit in this TV room where the TV guys go, and then they go down this radio row. They just boom, 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 boom. We're all just sitting there. And when dudes got up, and this was players and coaches, got up and was, wow, that was really cool, guys. And you're watching, and then they stick around for another 3-4 minutes, right? And they're talking to us off the air. That's when I looked at JJ and said, okay, we're doing this the right way. Right? Well, nobody wants to hear about the actual. What are you running the 4-3 or the 3-4? Are you going to blitz from the outside? Are you going to run the 3-3-5? What? Like, nobody cares, right? I mean, give me that on game day, whatever. But JJ, I thought that was my favorite part when how many guys stood up and went, "Wow, that was really cool, guys," and stayed at the table for 3, 4, 5 minutes while their SIDs are pulling them away.
Come on, we got to go.
Right?
Hey, because what's going to matter to me is the stories. You know, you ask an occasional football question because it's what they're there, development, how you feeling. Because a lot of these guys are the older guys, so they've been there, done that.
We didn't hear a lot of word culture this time around.
No. And I think one of the biggest things to me is how open Boise State was. Andy Avalos a little looser. The players had some good stories.
Yeah. Yeah,
okay, we're getting something out of this.
Yeah, no, it was a different run this time. It was really enjoyable. I think you like Shevin. Shevin was different this year than he was last year too. I think he loosened up a little bit too, and that's coming up at 8:30.
Confidence with him. He was voted the preseason offensive player of the year, but there's still a feeling. Like, I don't think people realize how good of a quarterback he has been from Hawaii to San Jose State.
And why he left, and you know what he went through. He's look, the kids from Hawaii. They're very unique in a special way, right? Kaliki, the young man from Hawaii. When you hear his story, you'll hear him say a bunch of times, "I'm just an island kid. I'm just an island kid." Then he went to Eastern Illinois. Then he went back, right? But they talk about it, and you'll enjoy this. All right, told you going into the break. You need to start paying attention. And I don't normally tell you what you need to do, right? I very rarely will tell you how to be a fan. But I think if you're a sports fan, you need to start giving this a cursory look. Lionel Messi is unbelievable. And I don't know if this is telling me, I'm going to lean on you a little bit more. If this is showing me the talent gap between MLS and the leagues overseas, if this is showing me just how insanely good he is. But Messi has played 2 games for last place, Inter Miami, and they have won both. He has scored, 3 goals and 2 assists. He had 2 goals, 2 assists yesterday in a 4-0 victory. And he is dominating. And it looks like he's enjoying it. It looks like he wants to be here. The rebound off of the post yesterday was brilliant. The passes that he's making, he's making this game look easy. I don't know, and honestly, I don't care. I'm watching a dude who's come in and lived up to the hype and then some. Is it showing me that they're way better over there? Is it showing me how good he is? Is the answer both? Because bottom line is, I'm relatively entertained, and I'm paying attention to something. I've never once in my life watched an Inter Miami.
And people don't
game.
even know what he's playing in. These aren't regular season MLS
this
games.
wasn't an MLS game yesterday. It was
right now they're in the middle of the League's Cup.
Yeah,
because you got to be playing for cups in soccer at every
all
moment of your entire existence.
Right.
Messi, he's built different. Like, he's 36 years old and could still absolutely be playing overseas at the highest level. He's still that good of a soccer player. It's just his new journey in his life, coming to him and his family get to hang out in Miami. He's got 2 of his former teammates with him on that team that played at Barcelona that are towards the end of their career. So it is essentially a retirement tour, but it's a dude that could still be playing at the highest level.
But is it just showing me the retirement tour from those guys is better than top tier MLS?
Mm-hmm.
It
is. Atlanta's, if you want to, they have to put out, they're one of the worst defenses in the league.
And we're only 2 games in, so I guess we'll see more when we get into MLS, and they're still a last place club.
And he played a Mexican team on Friday in his debut.
Right.
We had that game-winning free kick, which was insane. But the impact is different. When they announced Messi to Miami, you just look at the social media. In 24 hours, they gained like 2 million followers. It's the the Messi, this world status is unbelievable.
When I say, and you know me, right? One of my biggest things, I'm not going to tell you how to be a fan. You can be a face painting smoke bomb fan, or you can be a guy who just sits on your couch. I don't care. Like do your thing your way. Just don't complain if you don't go to games about the people who aren't going to games, right? That's kind of my only. It's like people who don't vote. Do you have a right to complain about everything? I mean, I guess you do, but I so rarely tell you what you should do. I really believe that you kind of got to pay attention a little bit, because this thing, I don't know, how big does this get in this country? Once they get back in MLS play, if he makes...
Oh, it's huge, because those...
I couldn't tell you when the MLS playoffs are.
Those tickets are the most expensive they've probably ever been at the stadiums he's going to.
Right.
And they'll be some of the biggest crowds that teams across the country get when he shows up.
Quote, "It was a good performance, and I'm pleased we were able to make our fans happy. A very good game, and we took another step in the right direction." That was the general manager, or the manager of the club, Gerardo Martino. They're in a league of 30. So what's the Leagues Cup? It's this league and Mexican leagues. And
yeah.
Okay. All right. So you put the whole. How long does it go? Does it intersperse with the MLS schedule, or you just put the whole?
It's in the middle of it.
MLS on hold?
Yes.
All right. You're a soccer guy, right? I mean, you enjoying this? You watching the dude in pink, DC? You liking? I mean, you can't not pay attention.
You're right about that. It's everywhere. And I love it personally. I think there's nothing more exciting than seeing a goal get scored, be it in hockey or soccer. It's just, it's one of those magical moments. So give me more is what I'd say.
Okay. All right. Well, you're going to get more because he's hitting it. If you are a local soccer fan, you may be getting more. The stadium talk has accelerated. What Mayor Keller said yesterday, what are the next steps, and what it will or will not cost you, because I know that's what matters to you. That's next, 8:30, Chevin Cordero, preseason conference player of the year on the offensive side of the Mountain West. Thank you for being with us on the opening drive on 95.9 FM at AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
These are more than just the sound of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school.
Costco. How you feel about a new stadium for New Mexico United? I know how you felt about it the way it was constructed on the ballot a couple of years ago. How do you feel about it if it's privately funded? It's where we're going, and there's a little bit of move yesterday because Mayor Keller said the city may break ground on the new stadium out of Balloon Fiesta Park, maybe as soon as this winter. Opening drive, Jeff Sabieta and JJ Buck. DC is taking your calls at 505-246-0610. Thank you for being with us on the Sports Animal this morning. Quote from the mayor yesterday, obviously it's not a done deal, but we're not giving up and we're going to do the stadium. I wonder, that was a quote.
I just was at the end. Was it like, yeah?
Yeah, I don't know what the reaction was.
And we're going to Balloon Fiesta Park, and then we're gonna go over here. We're gonna get it
an hour. Yeah, yeah. So unlike what's the difference? Well, unlike when you voted it down, the project will be mostly privately funded. So the state gave the city $8.5 million for infrastructure on this investment. And there's an additional $5 million in capital outlay. And I'm going to guess they're going to keep going back and getting a little more every year. So they got $13.5 million, and then they get another $10 million next year, and there'll be money for this. I don't say this cynically at all, because I know that United's fan base is very passionate. Do you believe the majority of people want a stadium in the city for New Mexico United?
I think the majority of people would be fine with it
if it's privately funded.
Yes.
Yeah, nobody gives a damn. I mean, if there's a new Raising Cane's goes up or a new movie theater, if it's privately funded.
Where you're going to run into issues if all of a sudden you look down and as you said, they just keep getting money and money and money, and you're like, wait, how did you end up with $30 million?
Yeah, no, it's going to be, I mean, you're at what? 13.5 now, and you're going to be at 20, 25, 30 million. Yeah, by the time it's done. No, you're going to get that much
gonna
public
rub
money.
people the wrong way, and you're just going to continue to have this rift of people.
But here's the deal.
why
It
can't
can
we
rub
have-
it can rub them wrong all they want, but they're going to get that money. They're going to build theirs. I don't think there was ever an issue, a question, is this stadium getting built? And are they getting public funding help? I don't ever think that was a question. They didn't get it the way they wanted to on the first ballot, which, when Peter was here, I mean, I said at the time, it felt rushed. It was
a dart throw.
Yeah, it was rushed. You're asking people to blindly say yes.
It was a wake up call, and it was, so many people thought it was just because it's Somos Unidos, and it's gonna bring so much life and art and this and that it was people are just gonna roll over and bask in Skittles for United, and it wasn't, because the reality of this is so much more than soccer. And everyone said that the people that voted it down didn't see the long term. They saw the long term. Like that's.
Yeah, they 100% saw the long term.
Everyone did see the long term, because
they just didn't see it the same way that the other side did.
To me, I like this proposal. The soccer stadium doesn't have to be about 100% rebranding and the entire thing. It's not going to be that big. I'm sorry, it's not. Just because you put a soccer stadium in doesn't mean all of a sudden you're going to have a mile's worth of bars and shops and this and that. Like, I like this idea. Balloon Fiesta Park, there's space, there's land. You get your 10,000 seats.
You can get there.
Stadium there. You get in and out. And I was like, what are we going to do after the game? The same thing you do now. Go home. Like,
you're going to party in the parking lot like you do now.
You tailgate pregame, go to the game, and you're going to go home with this after a 7:00 game. Or find a bar.
What am I going to do at 9:00? Yeah. I want to continue boozing.
Just because there's not one in walking distance. Like this
there isn't one in walking distance there, really.
Yeah, and that was the whole thing. Well, you build it, in downtown Albuquerque, and it's going to explode.
No, I know.
You get it. You have to have a lot more people on your side than just a soccer team. This is a good idea. It's a good space. They do it right. It's going to be still the atmosphere they want. They can own it. It can be theirs. And it can work.
Yeah, I'd like to see them do one more road into Balloon Fiesta Park too. Yeah. I guess you'll be able to come in off of Alameda, and then on that summit. There's two ways in, right? Off of the Balloon Fiesta Parkway or whatever it is, off of the frontage road, right? Just to the south of Tramway, right? You take that road in, and then you could park on that south end by the museum, right?
Just because it hasn't happened doesn't mean it doesn't work. But one of the things we know, Albuquerque ain't about public transit.
There's no public transit out there anyway.
It's failed art buses, Rare Runner. Like, people still want to drive their car somewhere, and you can do that.
Well, there's no public transit out there.
But I mean, that would have what you really had to do here.
Yeah.
If it went downtown, where you park, what are you doing? How are you getting there?
I think this will be part of it too. They have a partnership. San Diego Casino is their casino sponsor. So I think there'll be probably pre-parties at the casino, which is basically across the street, and have shuttles going in and out, and so they'll have promotions. I don't hate this location either. In fact, I kind of like it. You know where I am as far as a soccer stadium. I think the arena is the big. And I'll still contend this. This is just because you say you like LeBron doesn't mean you hate Michael, or you love, you think Michael's better doesn't mean you think LeBron's not good. I still think an arena is a bigger need for the city. Well, but I understand that we can use a soccer stadium and it will be good. And so I think this is the right spot for it.
How about saying it this way? Is an arena a better investment with city money?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I think you get more out of it because everything, and I love the semantics game, and I get it and I understand it, but everything that's been said, well, it's not just going to be a soccer stadium; it's going to be a museum, and it's going to be showing off. It's a soccer stadium. I mean, I think everybody sees through what it really is, right? It is a soccer stadium for New Mexico United
to hold your soccer parties,
and that's great.
Yes.
Okay,
that's what you want.
There's nothing wrong with saying it's a soccer stadium, but part of the campaign to get public funding for it was, it'll be a community center and it'll be art and you can come by every day and there'll be restaurants and coffee shops and everybody's like, dude, okay, but it's a soccer stadium. And it is a soccer stadium. There's nothing wrong with that.
And you can still have that vibe. You can still get people interested
out
there.
Yeah, I think you can. It would. I mean, traffic isn't as.
Yeah, the
which is
foot
a good
traffic
thing.
is not going to be the same, but
Right.
would it have been downtown? Just in that, plop it down in a neighborhood?
They claim it would have been. Yeah, the whole rejuvenation.
Yeah.
Yes, the revitalization of the whole thing, and yes.
And I see that, but that's also, you're comparing that to, in a lot of situations, major league projects.
Text line: United went through the back door, and the city/state still funded it partially. If down the road they sell the stadium for a profit, does the city get paid back? The saving grace is it's not downtown. Okay. A lot of you feel look any public money on this, people are going to be upset. I think if you get away, if you get away with $20 million, and the city's got to have some rights into it, doesn't it? The city would have to have, if you're giving them the land, the city would have to have some rights to hold events there. And I don't know what the deal is going to be on this thing, but what do you think the financial? Do you believe it's a big financial economic impact that United brings? I hear, well, they bring fans in from everywhere. Do they? I mean, what El Paso bring up a couple hundred fans a couple times a year? I mean, are Colorado Spring fans? I'm sorry. Are there supporters traveling? Are Sacramento Republic supporters traveling in? Are Indy 11 supporters traveling in? Is it a big economic impact?
I have one friend coming in for the Indy game. I don't know if anyone else. So
Is he coming in for the Indy game or coming in to see you, and it's around that time and he's going to go to the game?
He's a huge supporter. So
is he staying with you or is he staying in a hotel?
He's staying with me.
All right. So what's the impact?
Very, very little. Hey, a few restaurants will benefit, but very.
But you'd
very
have gone out to dinner anyway. All right. So you could spend an extra $100.
Yeah, it's very minimal though. You're absolutely right. There's not more than 100, 200 in any of these groups that are actually traveling.
By the way, on soccer termage, match, pitch, result, table. I heard a brand new one the other day I'd not heard. I didn't know it wasn't called the press box. Where the announcers and the press. Did you know this?
The commentary box.
The commentary box. I did not know that one.
No, that's new to me as well.
Did you know that one?
Heard it.
The commentary box, not commentary box. It's got to be pronounced Britishly. It's the commentary box.
Britishly. I like that.
Well, right?
Yeah, no, it sounds right.
How would you say? If you saw the word, would you have read commentary or commentary?
Probably would have sounded more like commentary.
Commentary box. Didn't know that one.
Classy.
I'm trying, man. I am. All right, next, Chevin Cordero. He is the Mountain West Conference preseason Offensive Player of the Year. He's the quarterback of San Jose State, a conversation that we had. The Spartans are going to be in town. Speaking of Balloon Fiesta Park, Spartans are going to be in town right around Balloon Fiesta. You know why I know that? Because their AD is complaining about the price of rooms. They're going to have to stay in Santa Fe. They got nowhere to stay. What? And they're going up to Santa Fe.
Bus down from
and
Santa Fe?
And the rooms are ridiculously expensive. Damn, the league's sending us down there during that stinking balloon show or whatever you have down there. Sorry, bro.
Maybe he'll take you up in one.
I don't think Chevin cares about that. You'll hear from him when we come back. Sadly, Albuquerque is not known for safety. It's known for balloons and all that stuff, but not safety. Aaron Jones started IPS, International Protective Service, back in 2006. His business is to protect homes and businesses, and now he's looking for your help. If you are a former or retired police officer, if you have military or security experience, and you want to make our city a better place to live and work, he is asking you to fill out an application. Please go to ipsglobal.com. You can be part of a great team and get world-class professionals to train you to handle almost any situation. I have trusted IPS for years. They monitor, patrol, look after my home. I think you should give them a call as well and see what they can do for you. Here's the number, 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420 or online at ipsglobal.com. Join IPS if you want to make Albuquerque a better and safer place to live and work.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one man.
Last year, I remember we had the conversation, and you and I first met in Frisco, Texas, in December of 2020 when Hawaii was in the New Mexico Bowl when we played in Frisco. And you had a terrific day that day. A guy from Hawaii to transfer out, I know you talked about it last year, it was a tough decision. A year later, as we sit here, how did it go? How did you acclimate? And was it the right decision?
I mean, I feel like it was the best decision I made.
Really?
I mean, I never looked back. Yeah, in the beginning of the first couple of months, I was homesick, but I mean, my teammates really helped. They really treated me like family, and I mean, now I'm just really happy. I'm looking forward to my last year in college football, and I feel like we're ready.
You know, a guy like Brent Brennan sets the tone, doesn't he? Your head coach is a different cat, and I say that in the best way. Everybody who plays for him loves him. It feels like. He had to make the decision possible for you, and I'm going to guess made the transition a lot easier.
Oh yeah, I mean, like you said, he's something else. He's funny. He's a player's coach. He's someone that you want to play for. I mean, you have fun practicing, training. It's all because of him and all the coaches that he hired. The whole coaching staff is a really good coaching staff. They treat you like family, and I mean that was one of the decisions is because of the coaching staff and Coach Brennan. And I mean, I didn't regret it. He's everything on camera, on TV. He's the same person, and I mean, he's a good guy.
San Jose State quarterback Chevan Cordero joining us here on the Sports Animal. You're a 6th-year player, man. Does it feel like a long time? Is it like blink and you're like, oh man, I can't believe the 6th year is finally here? What's it been like?
I mean, I feel like it's both. Yeah, it feels like, I mean, it flew by. It feels like yesterday I was arriving at Hawaii. But yeah, now it just feels like I've been here forever. It feels like I've been in college forever, and I can't wait for my last year. Ended off with a bang.
And you look at the schedule this year. You guys get USC, Oregon State, first games of the season. Does that get you guys fired up, looking at the chance that you get to show who you are against that level of competition?
Oh yeah, I mean, we circled those games from the very first time we scheduled them, and I mean, those are games that you really look forward to. Those are games that, I mean, when you do good, they'll put you on the map. And I mean, we've been training hard with our new coach, with our new strength and conditioning staff, and I feel like we're ready.
Chevan Cordero is San Jose State's coach. On a game like that, somebody told me in the room a few hours ago that you guys are 32.5-point underdogs. That filters to you. That's a lack of respect, right? You're getting on a football field with USC, and I know. Every game, it doesn't matter if you play New Mexico, Fresno State, San Diego State, or USC, you're going to tell me each week it's the same prep. But you guys listen to that, don't you? How do you feel when you go into a place? Because for administrators, we're making $1.85 million for the program. Well, you're not seeing that. What does it mean to you guys?
I mean, for me, I don't really look at it. I mean, yeah, it's disrespect because that's a lot of points to be. But at the same time, it's just I don't really worry about that. I just worry about us, what we're doing to get better, what we're doing to get ready for them. I mean, of course, they're a really good team, no doubt it. USC is, I mean, history-wise, they're really good, and they're with Chase Williams, they're gonna be a really good team. I mean, we're looking forward to it. I think we're ready. We're training hard. It's the hardest we've trained. Putting on a grind every Friday, every day. I mean, I feel like, this is the most prepared we've ever been, and I mean, we're ready for those kind of games.
From a freshman that was just trying to get on the field, played 4 games as a true freshman, to the dude that's sitting here right now, what is the biggest jump you've made, whether it's on or off the field, in your college career?
I feel like it's just growing up as a person. I mean, just doing things on my own. I feel like it really made me have to just really look at myself and just see what I'm really doing wrong and what am I not doing. And I feel like that was the one thing, was just being the student of the game, just watching film, just picking at my OC's brain, just learning the offense, just knowing that why is he calling this play, just looking at just being able to call your plays, just being the OC. And I feel like that was one thing, is just being the student of the game, and that's what I wasn't at Hawaii, and I mean, I feel like that's what I am now.
He's Chevan Cordero's with us just for a few more minutes, San Jose State's quarterback. You talk about growing up, and I know we always talk about football players. College is about becoming a man, isn't it? It's about growing up, and sometimes you got to get out of your comfort zone. And again, I'm going to go back to the conversation we had last year where you talked about the decision to leave Hawaii, your comfort zone. How have you grown as a man? You talked about how you grew as a quarterback and as a player and as a leader, but I don't know, the difference between maybe even the last 365 days growing up, who's Chevan Cordero now as opposed to maybe a year ago?
I mean, just living on my own, just having to, which is all the small things, like having to wash the dishes, having to wash my clothes, having to cook for myself, just driving to places, taking 2 hours to drive. I mean, just
welcome to California.
Yeah, it's just living in Hawaii. It's just everything is close by. You have your family to rely on, and just being away from them, you have no one to rely on. And I really had to grow up. I really had to grow up all by myself, and I mean, I feel like that was a really big difference for me, and it really changed me as a person and as a player.
Is that one of those kind of unexpected things when you did transfer to San Jose State, of getting yourself out of the comfort zone, but knowing what that new experience could mean to you ultimately as you move on?
Yeah, I wasn't really looking at it that way. Like, I didn't really know that, I mean, it was going to change me as a football player. I just thought that, I mean, I was just going to be playing for another team, and I was going to be the same person. But, I mean, I really feel like this was the best decision I ever made. I never look back. I don't regret anything. Yeah, I miss my teammates. Yeah, I miss my family. But, I mean, it was for the better. And I feel like, I mean, if I didn't make this change, I'd probably be the same football player, and I wouldn't have got better. So I feel like this was a great decision for me.
Chevan Cordero, last thing I want to ask the San Jose State quarterback is about bowl games. You played in our game in Frisco in 2020. You played in the game up in Boise last year. I think everybody here, the goal is let's win them all and get to the playoff, right? And they're going to expand playoffs to 12 games. People who've never been to bowl games seem to have this theory that, well, bowl games aren't going to matter. You've played in them. What will bowl games mean? What do they mean to you? Because obviously where I'm sitting, I've got my opinion. I'm biased, and I live in my bubble. But for the guys who do play in them, for a guy like you at San Jose State, if you're not going to get to the college football playoff, you're playing for bowl games. What do they mean to you?
I mean, it means a lot, whether it's having a winning season, getting more than 6 wins, having, like for your last year, just having an extra game to play with your brothers, just getting better, having an extra game for your next season to work on things and get better. I mean, it really means a lot. And just going to a bowl game, it's just one extra game. Like, not a lot of teams can make it to a bowl game. And
I tell people the post-game celebration that Hawaii had in Frisco after you won that, and I was in the middle of that. Nobody can ever tell me they don't mean something to the teams who win and lose those games, because I remember you guys lifting that trophy, and I don't know, man. I know what real joy feels like, and it felt like that was something that really mattered.
Hey, I mean, you really want to win the bowl game, because it just makes you have extra confidence going into the next season. You don't want to end your season in a loss. And I feel like that's obviously our goal is to win the Mountain West Conference and to make a bowl game. Yeah. That's every team's goal is to make a bowl game.
Keep doing you, man. You do it well. Congratulations on all the success. Best of luck this season.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Chevan Cordeiro, the Mountain West Conference preseason offensive player of the year. And this is a young man that, JJ, I've known him now a little bit since 2020, right? The COVID year when we played in Frisco, and I spent a little bit of time with him, very little bit, because everybody was not allowed to be with anybody in the middle of COVID. But I did get to know Chevan when he was at Hawaii, and they won our game. And then you and I got to meet him a year ago when he had first transferred to San Jose State. He's grown up a bit, huh? It's reserved, but still a different young man than I knew in 2020 and than you probably knew last year.
Yeah, the quarterbacks, we all think of them a certain way.
Yeah.
But each quarterback we talk to, each quarterback you get to meet, they all bring something different to the position. This guy is cool, calm, and collected. The way he comes across, but you can tell he's more comfortable being a leader on that team, that he's not just the new guy in town. He's a playmaker. He's at career highs last year across the board when it comes to throwing the football. He's also been the most dynamic quarterback in the Mountain West on a consistent basis in his time. And you kind of just seeing all that experience come to the forefront for Cordeiro.
Yeah. All right, you can get in on that. We're going to reset you with the NFL stuff when we get back. Yesterday was payday. Who got paid, who's next, and what does it mean in the National Football League? And for the Cowboys, one of your stars really hit the jackpot, and another one didn't make the plane to Oxnard for training camp. What does it mean for the Cowboys next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal?
This report is...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sound of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust.
Man, they are just throwing bags of cash around everywhere in the National Football League and the NBA. This opening drive, Jeff, JJ, DC. Love to hear you here on the Sports Animal at 505-246-0610. 505-246-0610. That is the phone line and the text line. And the emails are coming in to Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com, JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. All right, Cowboys situation's interesting. Trayvon Diggs got his big bag of cash. $97 million over 5 years, almost $20 million a year. They got a big void there because what did he get? $21.5 million signing bonus. He was going to be an unrestricted free agent going into next offseason, but now he's signed through 2018. They got an interesting situation with Zach Martin. By the way, of that 90, whatever I told you, 42.3 guaranteed. What do you do with your offensive lineman, who is really good? Are you guys the kind of people who judge someone's value by their Madden rating? Well, he's Madden rated 99. He must be the. I mean, I okay. Me neither, by the way. But he is really good. He's making what, $7 million a year, and it's way below market value. What are you doing here if you're Jerry?
You're getting him on the field as soon as possible.
So how you doing?
Because that is a guy, whatever restructure, pay bump, signing bonus, guarantees you need to add, it's evident over the last few years, at least when the Cowboys are successful, because the offensive line has been solid. And when you look at what they've done, they have a superstar defender in Micah Parsons that can wreck games. They lock down their cornerback one. Trayvon Diggs has been a part of a defense that has been able to turn the football the last few years. Now you solidify the line. Got core pieces on defense. Got to make sure the offensive line is good.
All right, so before they pay Trayvon Diggs, this is I don't even know when DC gave me the sheet. I just happen to have it with me with available cap space. Cowboys had $10.5 million in cap space left. Now, I got to believe they just ate a bunch of that up here. You say whatever it takes to get him. I mean, whatever it takes is just give him what he wants. I don't know that you can do that.
You can always do that.
So you basically...
in terms of signing bonuses, guaranteed money, you can convert that stuff to where it's not a direct
hit on this year.
Cap hit.
Yep.
But that's a very important piece. This isn't the wide receivers holding out. Oh, do you want to pay the running back? No, you need to get your offensive lineman in there.
That is nothing with if you don't have your offensive line.
Yeah.
All right, paydays continue today. It wasn't just yesterday. They're coming in already today in big bags of cash running around. And the Chargers, evidently Chargers have a lot of money. Yesterday it was Justin Herbert yesterday. 260, what did I tell you? 62.5 million. Today, Houston Texans and their offensive tackle Titus Howard. What's a good offensive lineman worth to you? This is a tackle, not a guard. Right? This is not the interior, so it's a little different. I know. Well, what's the difference? Well, there is a difference. Titus Howard, 3 years, $56 million extension, includes a $36.5 million guaranteed. He was a first-round pick of the Texans out of Alabama State back in 2019. So the Texans are throwing around a little money. The New York Football Giants are throwing around a little money. Andrew Thomas got paid today. Their left tackle, a record-setting contract today. 5 years, $117 million. I mean, we're just throwing monopoly money around. 5 years, $117 million. That's $67 guaranteed at signing. Can you imagine? I signed the deal. I'm good. I'm not going to make I'm going to make a lot of money, but I mean, here's $67 to sign, and then we'll pay the rest of it out over the next 5 years. What do you do if you're like here's $67 million? I'd buy a bunch of water and stuff and take it down to Dream Style Remodeling today and go see Fred and Van this afternoon and help out some people. I'll tell you that right now. 6'5", 315, one of the best left tackles in the game. Pro Bowler, protecting Daniel Jones. So I guess it's just paying season, isn't it?
Get your contract. Yeah, training camp's here. You're either going to camp or not in contract situations, and if they want you on the team, they're going to give you money.
It's paying season. All right, I got a bunch of, some conversation on the United Stadium. I want to get that to you. Keep you up to date on everything that is going on with the NFL and the pay stuff, because we still have a lot of that to talk about today. Justin Herbert got paid big. And by the way, something happened in Major League Baseball yesterday that had happened only once in the history of the game, and it was in 18 something. It's kind of cool. I'll tell you what it is. I don't know that it's got a long-lasting impact, but it was really, really cool. It's next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream Style Stucco.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs.
With three-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
All right, good commentary. I love this. The one texter, 512, who everything you and I say, he's on the other side. Like, and he points out how wrong we are, but he's so wrong, and I'll tell you why he's so wrong, or she. But I don't know why I would assume. But we're going to get there on the arena/stadium conversation. Opening drive. Good morning to you. Thank you for being with us on 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. Told you going in the break, it hadn't happened since 1884. Dude, when you tell me something hadn't happened since 18, I'm listening. I just love that kind of stuff. It's happened once back. Okay. Did you see the Braves triple play yesterday?
Very unique.
So they turn a triple plays are odd in their own right. So yes, we've had triple plays since 1884. We've had many of them. but never an 8-3-5, a center fielder to first baseman to third baseman triple play. First of the majors of triple play this season, and the first 8-3-5 since 1884 when the Boston Bean Eaters turned it against the Providence Grays. Boston Bean Eaters. Why did they ever change that?
I don't know.
Like, really? Why was that ever changed to Red Sox?
That's a great question because Bean Eaters sounds awesome.
Doesn't it?
It really does.
Who do you play for, the Bean Eaters?
Yeah, well, Bean Eater. So
probably did it by accident too. Then they're like, I don't know what we're doing. Oh, throw it here. Okay.
Tristan Casas hits a fly ball to shallow center. Horrible base running, by the way. Adam Duvall strays off of first. It was almost at second base. Michael Harris caught a fly ball in center field, throws to first base, and they get the double play because the guy was way too far off. And then first baseman Matt Olson threw across to third base because Masataka Yoshida was trying to tag up and go to third, and they got the triple play. 8-3-5 if you're scoring Gary Herron at home. That was the triple play. It's happened never since 1884. I love that kind of stuff. Love it. All right, we've been having a conversation about the stadium, soccer stadium. And I think what I said, well, I know what I said. I'm actually for this where it is. If it gets privately funded, I think it's great. I still think we need an arena in this town. And the same guy who criticizes everything and who started this last one with JJ is wrong. JJ is clearly wrong on the last one. You were clearly wrong on the last one. No, Jeff, Albuquerque doesn't need another new arena in addition to the pit. If anything, Albuquerque needs to renovate and or modernize the pit. Yet you continue to want a new arena of your expectations. Go buy and build it. Okay. So the answer is let's continue to try to renovate the 60-year-old building with a bad roof that has been used, controlled by the university, that has limited ability because of the way it's constructed to turn the building quickly, right? You can't. People always ask, why can they do it at Staples Center, now Crypto.com Arena? Why can they have a hockey game in there one night and a basketball game and then a concert and because they don't have just
Designed
that ramp
that way?
Yeah, you can't. But if your answer is just keep renovating the pit and keep changing the pit, first of all, UNM's going, hold on, stop. Yeah, you can renovate it, but not for all that use. We do need an arena. Now, what my expectation is, I don't know that we need a 12 or an 18 or a 20,000 seat arena. I believe, but I'm wrong. 512, because you know what? Everything we say, according to this,
absolutely everything.
No, this person needs his own or her own show podcast, which is great. I agree.
But it's like every sentence is like, nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
What was the one that you were wrong? JJ is clearly wrong herein. The sale of a team is regulated and approved. Oh, this was about the
we're not talking about them buying a team and moving them, which is a different conversation. If Saudi money were to come into the NBA and say, oh, we're buying this franchise and we want to move it, yes, you're going to have a different conversation, because then we're talking about the effect of a franchise and fan bases and what you have, as opposed to if the NBA were to expand and say, hey, we're putting a team in Seattle, who wants to own it?
To the texter, I just got a text from one of our state senators, and I appreciate Senator you sending this text. It says, and this is fact, we are the largest city in the country without a modern indoor arena. Tingley was built in 1957. The pit was built in the mid-'60s, right? I mean, the answer, with all due respect, and obviously you've got it all figured out, I don't. But I got some ideas.
You can have more than one thing.
Well, you need more here. I mean, you need more if you want to be who you want to be. You know what I mean? If you want to accommodate the concerts, the shows, the sport franchises that you want to be. We are the largest. I didn't know that until he just told me this. We are the largest city in the country without a modern indoor arena. Tingley was built in 57. Is Tingley getting used anymore other than the State Fair for rodeos? Like, there's a few concerts that are going there.
Get monster trucks every once in a while.
Right? But it's an old rodeo barn, and that's the purpose of it. If you want to get in on this, The Sports Animal, I'd love to hear from you here at The Sports Animal at 505-246-0610. That's the hotline and the text line. You're sending a bunch of emails to Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com, JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. Mike says United Stadium equals The Mountain West Conference tournament in Denver, ? Jeff, what's wrong with the current facility? Everyone likes going there. This reminds me of the Mountain West Conference moving the basketball tournament to Denver when the fans loved going to Vegas. It's really interesting. And I know who we're doing this for, and I know the scheduling conflicts and the revenue that is capped because United does not control it. You know way more people who go to a lot of United matches than I do. He's not wrong, right, when he says everyone kind of likes going there?
But if you have the ability to secure the funds for your own stadium, do it. Yeah. Because you have a lot of people that's kind of biting their lip. And yeah, it works. But that's a full season schedule. Like United's not just 12 games and goodbye. Like you can fill your full season. You got your months across the board. We know what minor league baseball is about.
The 16 home matches plus whatever cup matches and exhibitions they play, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And the field changeover is real. And who's going to continue to pay for that? You want to talk about being upset about something? The city's still covering that?
Covering what?
The field.
The field flip?
Because now they don't have the mound. They moved it so they can keep the mound, but you still are paying a process on that.
Well, look, that was initially supposed to be United's expense.
Yeah. And
the city, at first secretly, until it was exposed, that the city is paying for the changeover, which is like $30,000 each time, right? Yeah. Yeah, you're paying for that. So it's almost like I'm not paying child support anymore. I'm paying for college. You don't have to pay for that anymore. They put the money into that.
If they can fund it and you get mostly private money, go build your stadium and let's see something. Let's start to prove that, hey, a couple things could actually work in this city. And you don't have to put everything in those 3 venues all the time.
I will tell you, we keep hearing, and this is as long as I've been here, why things cannot happen. Why things can't happen. And so nothing does. Gopher says, replying to the senator, it's not in Albuquerque, but I would consider Santa Ana Star a modern arena, and the city of Albuquerque has paid for their field. It is a modern arena. It's just not in Albuquerque. Albuquerque doesn't use it. I mean, yeah, Rio Rancho's arena is a modern arena. It's 6,000 seat arena. You can get up to like 7,500, I think, for concerts. But yeah, it is considered modern. All right. We come back. We ran a conversation with Craig Bohl, the Wyoming coach, last week. JJ, with him talking about NIL and modern day NIL. So first of all, I got a comment from one of you saying Craig Bohl gets it. But there was a sneaky bill in Congress yesterday in regards to NIL, and I'm going to explain that to you and what it might mean moving forward. That's next. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
Win tickets to All-American Rejects.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am an Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits.
But that's cool, dude. If you don't want a new arena, I'm down with that. That's cool. Like some people don't want a new soccer stadium. Like, cool. But a new arena in this community would bring a lot of different events. It just would. And we need a modern arena. I got a text that says on the Balloon Fiesta Stadium for United, the city does a horrible job with traffic with Balloon Fiesta or any event out there. I have no confidence that they'll do any better or do it right. It'll be a disaster, and they have shown no game plan to date they can fix that traffic. And it continues, says Peter Trevisani wants to own it all, make all the money in equity, and try to get as much public funding as possible. And again, I'm just reading this. It says donate $100,000 to political and get $20 million from the state. Pretty good return and 100% control for United. I'm okay with the state and city putting up some of the money, but we must get paid back 6 to 8% interest or better and own 50% of the stadium and make 50% of the revenue a better private public. 6.8% interest is 3 to 4% better rate than what United will get from the private sector. Okay, that's an opinion on that.
How many people are showing up for the Balloon Fiesta one morning?
Many more than will show up for any United match.
So I'm not worried about that aspect of it.
Okay. You're not worried about the traffic at all?
Well, if you're comparing it to the Balloon Fiesta, you're not bussing in thousands of people.
No.
Parks on site.
But you've got... I mean, there's going to be traffic when you go to a game. But there's going to be...
It's not going to be like trying to get to the Balloon Fiesta. You're not going to be
There's not going to be hundreds of thousands of people. There won't be hundreds of thousands of people. Yeah. Jared, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Jared.
Good morning, guys. So kind of off topic, but it kind of dovetails in. Liberty Media just took the Braves public, first baseball team to go public, and I think this is a really cool topic because I think this is going to affect player retention and acquisitions in the future, which will have an effect on bargaining agreements with players and associations and things like that. And what I mean by that is, for example, you guys are talking about stadiums here in Albuquerque, things like that. And if the Braves are a now public company, they don't require raising money from bonds and things like that because they can get money from you and I in Albuquerque if we choose to invest. So that's kind of a cool thing if you think about it. How's that going to look like in the future? Are more sports teams going to go this route? I think they are. But what's weird is Liberty Media, that guy's also into Formula One. So some of these people who have the money to do this have the money to do other things that could, kind of not mix well with what their other things that they acquire are. Yes. And I'll finish with this. As we were growing up as kids, the big thing was hedge funds. All these guys, hedge funds, big money. That's because those type of indexes weren't accessible to the common person, let's say the retail investor. Correct. Now with ETFs, you and I can go in and get pretty much the same holdings as someone who's you only had access if you had $1 billion or $100 million to give to a private equity firm. Now you and I can just go in, do a little bit of research, and buy an ETF and get the same type of returns. So the days of Peter Lynch doing 29% returns a year are over. You and I can get those type of returns, but we're not going to get those returns because there's more people that are into the information. It's a long way to say that I think they're going to be more monetizing sports, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's
and
fair.
I wonder what the quality of the product will be in the future.
Appreciate you, Jared.
That's
Thanks.
my thoughts.
Yeah,
Thanks.
DC, you had just brought this up, right? In the break just before he called about how. And what did you tell me about the Saudis and the shares and?
Yeah, online that is some speculation going on that now that you can buy shares on this team, what if the Saudis went and bought them all up?
What if?
Yeah. What if? Right, and I mean, of course, that's internet buzz, but there is something to that. You could go online right now and buy a piece of that team.
They're coming. That's the next thing, is owning a sports franchise in America for that investment group. Absolutely.
And what will that mean?
Yeah.
What's it going to mean? The Packers are publicly owned, right? But not publicly managed. I mean, is this much different than the Packers deal?
You're getting a return on the Braves. You don't get a return on the Packers.
You get a certificate on the Packers.
You get a very nice piece of paper and a letter from Mark Murphy.
Does it come with the frame, or you got to buy your own frame?
Thanks for your money.
Yeah. $300 piece of paper.
All right, fair enough.
Bill day at school. Thanks for your participation.
Yep. All right. I'm going to go one more with the guy on the text line. Go buy and build your competing arena, Jeff, and listen to the industry experts who tell you your self-serving pitched ideas aren't worth it. You claim to value dissent, yet you clearly expect conformity bias to your opinions. Okay. If I expected everybody to conform to my opinion, would I continue to entertain and read the dissenting opinion? You're such a hypocrite, dude. Like with all due respect, I know
There's
you
no
think
discussion going on.
you think you're a genius. And
Just
you
here's
think
my
you got it
statement,
all.
and you're right.
But I appreciate you listening to me every day and sending your texts that tell me how stupid I am. I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
There are plenty of studies that talk about the challenges of public funded stadiums.
Yes.
But we're also not talking about.
And I'm not even saying it needs to be a public. All I said is we need an arena, right?
But how many people live in Albuquerque? In Rio Rancho? Like, if you're doing a downtown arena,
Yeah.
and you're able to bring
Or
in
pick your spot, wherever.
different level of concert too, then you are getting more traffic from the surrounding areas. But even if you happen to have a date that conflicts with the Lobos, so you're telling me 10,000 people going to the pit means 500 other, 500,000 other people can't do something that night?
Look, let's be very real. When United opens their stadium,
they're going to be playing a game when Ice Open's playing.
Promise. And there will be a night where you got the Gladiators at Tingley. I think they're moving back. And Isoap's playing at their place. And United playing at their place. And there'll be movies going on. And there'll be a concert at a casino. And you're going to go, oh my goodness, Albuquerque's all screwed up. We can do more than one thing at one time.
I feel like everyone and their grandmother and all their cousins saw Oppenheimer this weekend, but they also showed up to a soccer game somehow too.
I didn't do either.
Oh, you weren't here.
Oh yeah, sorry. I was here Saturday. I was here Saturday night.
So the argument of competing things, yes, but there's how many people in the city?
Close to 1 million people.
And so 10,000 people one night at the pit. How could anything else possibly occur?
I know. I look. Do I expect conformity on my opinions? No, I believe in my opinions. I've entertained yours every single day, which dissent my opinions on everything. And I have the conversation. No. Do I clearly expect conformity on my opinions? No, man. I believe in what I say. I listen. You haven't said one thing to me that would start to sway me other than you're wrong because you don't like what I say. I will tell you that if the answer to when I say we need a new arena, and your answer is we need to renovate the pit again and keep pouring money into a 60-year-old facility. Yeah, I will tell you I believe you're wrong on that. Yeah. When I hear we're the biggest city without a modern arena, I don't know. Is every other city idiotic for building an arena? Are they all stupid? We're the only ones who got it figured out. We have Tingley Coliseum where nobody wants to go, where the seats are tiny, where the roof leaks, where right? And we have the pit, which is owned and I think is it owned? It's certainly run by the university, and it's. With all due respect, I know we all love the pit. It's antiquated. It's a 60-plus-year-old building. It's got a roof that has limitations. So you keep pouring money. And the biggest thing is, because the infrastructure on it, you can't turn the building because it's just got the ramp to turn it around as quickly. And that's why you can't have a basketball game on Saturday and a concert on Sunday, because you can't turn it that quickly. So, and now, am I telling you it should be completely private or publicly funded? That's not what I'm saying at all. I'll listen to funding sources. That's all. But no, I'll listen to dissenting opinions all day. I do. That's what we do. I don't have to agree with everything, just like you don't have to agree with me. Joseph, good morning to you. How you living? You're on the Sports Animal.
Yeah, thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, what's up?
I was thinking, with the new stadium, I agree with you, but I was thinking maybe they should put like a football field into a soccer field. Maybe you can have the United play in that stadium, and then maybe have some high school football games and soccer games.
Mm-hmm. It's not a bad idea. Thank you, Joseph. Appreciate you. I mean, you can make a football field on a pitch, right? There's plenty of room.
Yeah, absolutely. And when the season concludes, there would be an opportunity. They wanted to showcase it or highlight or work with athletics. You could do something like that towards the end of the year.
I mean, you could do a lot of things there. Can you play the state championship soccer matches?
Yeah,
there?
absolutely.
Can you play? Can you have outdoor concerts there? There's a lot of things you can do. And would it compete for stuff with the University Stadium? I imagine it would. Everybody's always told me my whole life competition is good. Right?
It is good.
It makes everybody better, doesn't it?
It should. It usually does.
That's all I'm saying, man.
Let me ask you this, though.
Yeah.
Do they hold concerts at the pit?
They haven't in a long time. They used to. Everybody's got a story about a concert they saw in the pit. Yeah. They haven't what was the last concert in the pit? Do you remember?
I saw the Red Hot Chili Peppers there.
Okay, how long ago was that?
I think I was in middle school.
Yeah, it's been a minute. Yeah, they used to. But see, your point, right? Text Jeff says, finally someone realizes you're a dumbass. No, yeah, and yes.
It's only taken them 15 years.
Pitt can't even host NCAA tournaments games as it's outdated. And this is a guy who loves the Pitt. On the Saudis, Ned's in, says the Saudis will start buying college teams through the collectives if they haven't started already. What's stopping them? It's interesting. What's to stop the Saudis from going in on Alabama's collective or Illinois' collective or Western Kentucky's collective? Pick somebody, right? And kind of taking it over that way. Well, you're right. Whatever they want to do. Yep. United wants grass and will not allow other teams to rip up their field during the season. Look, I'm very well acquainted with how soccer groundskeepers love their field. We played at Frisco. It was a big deal about even painting our logo on the middle. Oh, yeah. But, yeah, so they'll control it. And look, if they get their place, they'll control it. It's good for them. Like I'm stoked for them to get their place. And I'm kind of stoked for everybody that, people who don't want to have to deal with each other don't have to deal with each other anymore, right? Like everybody's going to feel good about this thing if it gets done the right way. And so everybody wins. And the arena is a different conversation than the stadium. But it's kind of good. I'm not going to lie. I've been here 27 years, dude. Finally seeing something going up. If this, in fact, happens, we'll see. All right, I'm going to tell you about this NIL bill. I know we teased it in the last break. But what Congress is trying to do, people have been asking for help from Congress. You've heard commissioners say, we need Congress to help. What Congress is doing. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Help pitch in and bring
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
your surprisingly great rates? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Help people out and make a difference. So if you're out and about today and can help, we say thank you in advance. And I think it's a really cool thing that all of the radio stations here at Cumulus are doing today. And thank you in advance for helping out with that. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, 505-246-0610. DC will take your call there. That's the Sports Animal phone number. And it's the text line you can get in. The email machine, Lars sent this, and he says, Craig Bohl gets it, Jeffy. Craig Bohl is the head football coach at Wyoming. He's going into his 10th year. We played the conversation, I believe, last Friday that we had with Craig. And one of the things, in JJ, this was the one moment where it got kind of, somebody pushed back on us in all of the conversations we did last week up in Vegas, where we're talking about NIL, and I think I phrased it to Craig. I said, and it was because one of the other coaches said, I feel like a hypocrite. I don't like it, but I got to play the game. Mm-hmm. And I used that phrase back to Craig, and he says, it bothers me or pisses me off when people say you got to play the game. We don't have to play the game. We have to evolve. And I said, I'm listening. Right. Yeah. And he says, we got to do it the right way. We don't have. And he says, remember he asked, what are the people of Wyoming like? What do you think of in Wyoming? You think of hardworking blue collar people. Well, Lars says, I don't think he says, Craig Bohl gets it, Jeffy. I don't think the person on the street knows about NIL yet. But when the average New Mexico family makes $52,000 a year sees the quote-unquote amateur quarterback at the local university driving around in a $70,000 2024 Audi convertible, I don't think it's going to encourage them to run to the ticket window so they can go to the game. It's from Lars. So it brings me to the evolution.
So because someone's value might be depressed, we need to depress other people's value?
If that's how you interpret that.
That's exactly how I interpret
it. Okay. I because it's been done a certain way, and they're considered amateurs. Now, they're your pro team in this town, right? You've been paying to watch them for years. But if they're making more than you, then somehow we got a problem. That's 100% what that says.
And I think with Craig Bohl,
yeah,
it felt like to me more so that not that he's trying to make a point versus they just don't have that capital.
Okay. And I think there's a lot of places that don't have that capital. And you have heard commissioners, the commissioner of the Mountain West Conference, hell, the commissioner of the SEC, coming out and saying we need congressional help, which nobody asked for Congress's help. Everybody tells Congress to stay the hell out of my life. So you had two senators yesterday. One, well acquainted with football, a Republican from Alabama, Tommy Tuberville, the former coach at Auburn. And one, a Democrat, Joe Manchin from West Virginia. They introduced a bipartisan bill which was aimed at addressing NIL. It's called Protecting Athletes, Schools, and Sports, PASS, PASS Act of 2023. So it would require agents and collectives to register with a regulating body and establish a public-facing website to publish anonymized NIL data. This would require all NIL contracts to be disclosed within 30 days. The bill would also require athletes to complete 3 years of residency at a given institution before being able to transfer without penalty. And I'll go on in a minute. Initially, your thoughts there. So it's taking away the immediate transfer.
The thoughts, I think a lot of people, they're not saying, they say we need help for what? Do you want a salary cap? Then who do you want in control? Because this is all outside money.
Mhm.
And so do you just want to say, hey, we're capping the money that each collective can use? So I guess that's where you'd get the national help from. Because I'm not seeing any answers to those questions. And the Mountain West
To which
Commissioner talked about
question?
so we need
Which
help. Need
question?
help doing what?
Yeah.
Preventing athletes getting paid.
I think it's more so preventing. Well,
it's pay for play.
Yeah. It is pay for play. So it's more so letting what they're trying to prevent is schools like Wyoming, New Mexico State getting left behind whilst.
Well, there's
Alabama
never a
is-
number that's going to be low enough then.
Well, so where can it? Okay, so if you're in favor of it, that's okay, right? That's the other side of the coin. If you're saying, you know what, dude, they get left behind. They're out.
Well,
they can't compete.
They keep asking for help, but they're not saying what they want help with.
But I think this is my interpretation. of it. They're basically saying, how are we going to keep college athletics somewhat on an even scale? Where Wyoming,
Why don't you start looking at television contracts then?
in regards to what?
Want to be fair? What about that revenue?
Well, but so now
everyone
you're
is
bringing
complaining about the outside revenue that the
Yep.
athletes are getting.
Yep.
But Alabama ain't giving up that television contract. The SEC ain't giving up that money to help the Mountain West.
Right, because they're worth more than
So what? And those players are worth more.
So what you're saying is we should go socialist as opposed. I
That's
see your
what they're
point.
asking to do with NIL.
No, that's right. I think that's relatively what they're asking to do. Now they're saying that you're all Division I schools.
They want to be left behind. They left behind these schools a long time ago.
But in reality, you're not all worth the same thing. Hence, you're not all going to get the same thing, right?
Yes.
And so, is there a playing field leveler that should be?
Nothing is going to level the playing field.
Other
when you
than
have
just complete revenue sharing.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but then it goes back to the student athlete, right? No.
And by the way, where I said sneaky, that whole trying to destroy the transfer portal in this bill as well.
Well,
is,
that's
come
the
on
piece in there that you can't transfer within your first 3 years. It would require schools to provide health coverage for sports-related injuries for 8 years after athletes finish their college eligibility. I know we don't equate that to money, right? There's a lot of things that student athletes benefit from that unless you're giving them cold, hard cash, people feel that they're being exploited. For instance, the value of their education, which never comes into anybody's conversation, which I'm learning is quite expensive as I go on these tours. I mean, you know, a student athlete at Vanderbilt, their education is worth $90,000 a year. You know, room, board, books, athletics, everything. I mean, they're what they're getting right there in those 4 years is about $500,000. But and I see the wide eyes and everybody's like, yeah, so well, to me, I can't get past the so. That's just me. I can't get past the because you and me and them and you all paid for your education and they're making money for the university, but they are getting something in return. If they don't utilize that, Jeff, well that's kind of on them if they don't utilize it.
I have a friend who went to Vandy. He was a tight end. He had a sniff in the NFL, didn't really do anything. He talks about how valuable that was, getting that education.
Of course. And the majority of student athletes take advantage of that. When we have these conversations, we talk about a sliver of the percentage, right? 2 to 3 to maybe 4% of the student athletes. Athletic departments that generate more than $20 million annually, which is all of them, would be required to cover out-of-pocket medical costs for 2 years after an athlete's playing career. And athletic departments that generate more than $50 million, which is most of them, would annually have to cover for 4 years out-of-pocket expenses. So they're looking after the student athletes. You okay with what they're getting at here, what they're starting at?
I do think that there are positives and finally some concrete things to discuss, because I heard way too many people complain about the system and say they need help, but without any idea. What do you need help with? Do you want salary caps? Do you want them not to make it? What do you want out of this? And so there's finally to get some concrete ideas of how everyone can at least understand what everyone is doing is a positive moving forward. But I can't sit here and when people are saying, well, we can't compete here, we can't compete that because NIL is destroying the game, and yet you're not going to acknowledge the fact the game has changed when the television contracts are what they are, and now all those schools want to complain. That's what's changing the game.
Let me a little perspective from Jeff on the text machine, and this is in regards to Lars saying, why people are making $52,000 aren't going to go out and watch a kid who's making more money than them. Yet you'll watch a pro. So if he's not a college kid but he's playing for the Cowboys, he's making more. You'll watch him. UNM basketball, NIL money last season paid out about $700,000 to players. Okay, UNM basketball made an additional $8 million in revenue last year off of ticket upgrades and upgraded in TV money. So finally, he says the players are benefiting, and make sure that listeners know it says that UNM basketball out of that $8 million does not pay the NIL money. It's businesses or individuals paying for the NIL. He's right. So that money's coming in from private. Okay. It's not coming from UNM. Now, some of you don't care, right? Well, that kid's running around a brand new Audi convertible and I'm driving my 2008 Escort. Okay. Like, that's just how it is, right? He's capitalizing on.
Well, and at some point, you still got to have the money for the payment. So life's going to come at you. And this scholarship is incredibly valuable. It is. But it's also, we can't, when these schools and fan bases don't care about GPAs. No, I'm not saying the schools don't care, but I mean the schools are like, we're bringing coaches in, we're hiring them to win games. If not able to be athletes, we're going to move on. When fans say, well, I'm not going to show up if you're not winning games. Like these things are butting
all
heads. And so you just can't say it's strictly student athlete anymore. And that's why it exploded. And to me, I can understand how valuable a scholarship is. Because raise your hand, and I'm one of them that's paying back student loans. Absolutely.
For a long time.
But also, with these athletes, because of what you talk about too, Jeff, like such a small percentage are actually going to go on.
Right.
A lot of them, this is going to be their only time
to
maximize their value. It's not just, hey, I'm going to come back in 7 years and I was the fourth best player in the 2017 Lobos. Give me $20 for my autograph. People are like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, cool.
Like that. So if you're able to maximize it now, I'm all for that.
The window is small. Grady says, Lars' email proves my point 10,000%. These people, or it says those people in quotes, shouldn't be making more money than me. And he sent an email the other day. It says, now Coach Bull's statement was pure in-your-face truth. The people of Wyoming would have a problem paying 18 to 20-year-olds, many straight out of high school, money to play football at Wyoming. To me, that's the problem for a lot of people. It's bad enough they have to watch dudes in the pros making ridiculous amounts of money to play a game while they have to work hard for every penny, but they absolutely draw the line on college kids making more than they do for playing football and basketball. I don't think he's wrong. There's a lot of people who are struggling getting over that for whatever reason, you're good with, if that kid is 19 and playing in the NBA, for some reason you're okay with it, but not if he's 19 and playing college. And yeah, a lot of people are just struggling with that. Why is that? Wrap this up. I got more thoughts on this, and I know you do too. Get you up to date on everything you need to know. Dudes are already getting paid again today. So everything that's happening this morning in the world of sports that you're going to need to know as you go on through your day. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. Would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Your surprisingly great rates? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Your surprisingly great rates? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
As you go through your day to day. And you're welcome to get in still. We got time here at the Sports Animal at 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Hey, when you have opinions, my opinions are not unswayable, as I've been accused of. They just need to be swayed by something that sways me. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. I'm not getting into it anymore with this guy. All right. Ned says the Saudis will start buying college teams through the collectives if they haven't started already. What's stopping them? And then it says, who owns the kids? Question mark. The colleges or the collectives, JJ? He says, I love the intrigue behind who believes they have the control. Congress intervening on behalf of the universities only acts as a shield from the free market taking hold of the college athletic department enterprises. Does Abilene Christian University, a non-Division I school, have to follow the same rules of the collectives as Alabama or USC? Do disclosure rules on payments apply to all universities, even private schools? Is this what Congress is saying? If the kids leave, as you say, are they not bound to the contract signed to the collective binding? Or the collective? Binding contracts can be written in all kinds of ways. I can own your NIL rights in perpetuity, no matter what school you attend. I don't know any of the answers. I really don't.
ProView Networks would like to think that
Depends on how shady and or bitter the collectives are to do that to an athlete. If they want to pull something like that.
Well, that's
also why the one missing part of this process was not allowing more help.
I don't think this process is done, do you?
No. And it's all outside money, so I can understand the questions of why would a university have to say anything? So money's coming from.
Why would anybody have to say anything? Why would the student?
Yeah, we're not going to. If it's all outside money.
Well, to his point, you're a student. Let's just say at any private institution.
Help with contracts, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, you're a student at Vanderbilt or Abilene Christian, right? I believe both of those are private institutions. One's FCS, one's FBS, one's Division I, one's right. But you're a student. Why should you have to? Well, I guess you have to disclose income because it's income. So yeah, you would have to disclose that.
Well,
and if
but
the
publicly is different.
Well, but if the collective's acting as a 501c3, it also would have to disclose it. Well, they would have to report it. But with the universities? I don't know any of the answers, man. I mean, this is just legislation that was introduced yesterday that if it even gets to a level of they're having a conversation on it, it'll be tweaked, don't you think, quite a bit? But the hidden piece in that is getting rid of the free transfer right away. That a student would have to be there 3 years enrolled in an institution in good standing before they're able to transfer. But Ned's not wrong. The collective could still own your rights, which means they'd have to pay you still.
Or you couldn't get in an NIL deal somewhere else if you transferred. Trying to hold that over your head.
Why couldn't you get another NIL deal?
Well, if they have your rights.
If it's exclusive?
And if it's in your contract and you don't look at it, you're just a kid that's offered. So, there are things that could hurt a student athlete in this that you have to be aware of.
Yeah. Hey, keep Friday morning open. I think we're having a party. I'm not totally sure, but I was told today I think we're having a party. So, if that's your kind of thing, keep Friday morning open. Thanks to Chevin Cordero. Jerry Palm's going to be with us tomorrow live.
Oh, Jerry.
Yeah, we haven't caught up with Jerry in a while. Friday guest list as of now includes Richard Pitino and John Traub, and Hal Mummy is going to be with us, former New Mexico State coach. Working on the guest list for Friday as well. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowherd is after that. 2 Men On comes your way live from Dreamstyle Remodeling. Go down and see the boys and drop off some water or hygiene products, please. Help us out down on at Dreamstyle down off of Renaissance in Montgomery. DC, great work today. Adrian, it looks good on the visual. Always good job. Big day for you today?
Huge day.
Enjoy it. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you tomorrow.
Hey, it's Scott Stigler. Security cameras and alarm systems are good, but the next level.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at Golden Pride at ABQ